It's that time to do the speeches, unfortunately. I'd like to introduce you all to the father of the bride, Robert. I've not got much more than that, so.
Oh, gee, you've done the glove.
Sorry.
Hello. Yeah. Due to circumstances beyond my control, I've got to sit down and say this. My original speech was 78 minutes long. This is about 8 seconds. So bear with me. First, I'd just like to say 1 down, 2 to go. And on behalf of Jordan, Liz and Carol and I'd like to thank you all for being here to celebrate Ash and Andrew's wedding. At last, I've been dragging it on. Ash and Andrew have been best friends since they were at school, but as soon as Andrew found out that Ash knew more about football than him, they were in. They were smitten. And when Ash realised Andrew could cook better than her, she was in. Okay. You can't clear up. But Andrew asked me if he could marry Ash last year sometime. I got quite emotional actually. He thought I was really happy for them. Actually, I was thinking about my share of the cost. I'm sorry the speech is so short, but if you raise your glasses and toast these two beautiful human beings and with some health and happiness for all of their lives. Thank you. Andrew and Ashley. Proper speech.
Next. So thank you, Robert, for the speech. Speech up on to follow.
Speak up, Andrew.
My friends and family will know I'm a man of few words, and Ashley's friends and family are about to find that out. So I'd just like to thank you all for being here to celebrate with my wife and I. I'd like to thank Carol and Robbie for all the help and support in planning the wedding and being so welcoming to me from the very start of our relationship. I think that might have been partially due to Ashley telling them I'm a Rangers fan. But she didn't let it slip that I was a United fan. I want to thank you both from the bottom of my heart for all the love and support that you've offered to us, and I hope that I'll always be able to take care of Ashley and return anything that you ever need. I'd also like to thank my mum and dad for their support in the planning of the wedding, but also for helping me throughout life. Whether it was taking me to scouts or football or driving me up and down the country to universities from Plymouth to Stirling. We got some mileage in. When we first moved to Scotland last year, you followed us up the road a few hours later, helped us move in, and our flat's grown from what was an inflatable mattress and a cardboard box and a TV to quite a nice little home. I've no idea how I'll pay you both, but hopefully I can make you proud. And at this stage, I give you and Carol your flowers, but they're in the corner. So I'm going to thank Jamie, Robbie and James now for sharing the responsibility of being the best man today, because I couldn't choose between them. I couldn't find better friends to share the title of best man for me today. Just remember that for the speech. Honestly though, I am looking forward to hearing whatever speech you found on Google and a certain man in Ashley's name. But you got your gifts this morning, so just to speak. I'd also like to thank Hannah, Georgina and Samantha for being Ashley's bridesmaids. I think everyone will agree that they look absolutely beautiful today. And it's actually Carol who made the dresses, and I've honestly got no idea where he found the time. So I feel as though I've been able to see Georgina and Samantha grow up since I've been in your life for so long. You've grown up into wonderful, supportive sisters that can offer that sort of kind of chat that her husband just can't offer.
Well.
Hannah, you've also been a brilliant support, especially this year. And you add a little bit of sanity into the Dixon party, so thank you. It was Hannah actually found out about our engagement first because Ashley insisted, and I took the less conventional approach of asking for Robbie's blessing 2 days after proposing. So, we've never really done things the conventional way, have we? It's the senior group for us. So thanks girls for always being there, and especially in the last year. So I'd just like to raise a toast for Hannah, Georgina and Samantha. Cheers. So, my wife. Gonna get used to saying that. We started our relationship as a long distance one. We shared 2 years together at university, and then took turns doing a master's in Scotland. We finally settled down in one spot. I couldn't ask for a better partner to share our adventure together. You're more beautiful today than I ever dreamed. But nothing beats watching a movie with you. One of your many pyjama sets, which has become part of the uniform. So 9 years may seem a long time to wait to marry someone you loved, but why rush something you want to last forever? You've been friends for quite a while before I decided I wanted to spend the rest of my life with you. I'm sure everyone will agree, it's easy to fall for Ashley's generosity.
My dad didn't cry.
So I quickly found you to be one of my closest friends. It was in 2008 when a group of friends went to see Ashley perform in Oh What a Lovely War. And when you sang, it was like I was the only person in the room. I was under the spell. So, true to form, 9 months later, I rushed into a relationship with you.
Yeah, I thought you wanted to say something else. What was a secret?
So, we've been through a lot. And I don't know anyone else as strongly determined as you. I am in awe of you, your strength. So, I promised that our adventures have just begun, and I will save the last drop of everyone for you.
I'm very glad.
So I'm going to be your strongest supporter for the rest of my life. And I can't wait for the rest of
You were gonna cry. I've said sorry.
Is it not? Oh, we don't
A bit softy, isn't he, Andy, really? But as Andy mentioned, he's got 3 best men today, so that's why the 3 of us are in front of you. We're obviously such bad friends that it has taken 3 of us to make kind of one normal, capable person, so hopefully we'll pull through. For those of you who don't know us, I'm Robbie, this is James, this is Jamie. It's been a bit of a challenge, the 3 of us actually trying to prepare a speech together. So I am warning you, it could go horribly wrong or really, really well. Either way, I'm sure it'll be memorable, especially getting up to these 2 speaking in public. I'd just like to start by saying a big thank you for everyone coming today and helping make Andrew and Ashley's wedding such a special and memorable occasion. Everyone's done an amazing job to make it such a fantastic day so far. And I think you'd all agree that Ashley and all the bridesmaids look absolutely lovely. And Andrew, of course, looks lovely as well. So the 4 of us go back quite a long way. We've been through all through school together. And I've known Andrew for over 20 years now. We used to walk to school every day from quite a young age, really, around 6 or 7, maybe a little bit older, that's quite young, isn't it? And all through school, Andrew was a bit mischievous, really, and used to get into quite a bit of trouble. I'm sure many of you probably won't believe that we've met a fine gentleman today. There's a period of time where me and Andrew used to be quite naughty together, and used to get separated from the rest of the class on their own kind of naughty table, or as the teachers used to call it, a special table. All throughout school, Andrew has always been very intelligent, far more than the 3 of us, and obviously is still today. I think it's just worn off. But there have been occasions where it's not been so smart, and I'll share a couple of them with you now. So that started from a young age, really. We went on a school trip to the Lake District, it was like primary school, and we were just all playing games and hanging around in like the accommodation bit when we noticed that Andrew had disappeared. No one knew where he was, so we all went looking for him. And we got to our shared bedroom and Andrew was banging on the door, and he somehow managed to lock himself in there while breaking the lock. So no one could actually get him out. I can't actually remember how he got out, but I'm sure it was funny.
Something like that.
Yeah. Another occasion was in our teenage years, we went to a house party. I think to give Andrew credit, he wasn't feeling particularly well. But he didn't let him stop him having a good time and having a few drinks until he started throwing up everywhere. And of all the places to pick to throw up, the nearest thing to him was a lasagna dish. We've all got this memory of Andrew throwing up a lasagna dish. It wasn't a pretty sight. I think the lasagna dish is still probably been used somewhere as well.
Yeah, I think it's dupes. So.
Yeah, I don't think we threw it away after, I don't know what we did with it. And then obviously the most recent one, been asking us to be his best man. It's not really a smart move between the 3 of us, but I'm sure we've muddled through. Once we've all kind of finished school together, we all went on a lads holiday together. And it wasn't really a typical lads holiday because out of all the typical locations to pick from, we chose Filey. Just a small quiet town, just north of Scarborough, I think. And we went camping, but in our own way, it kind of summed us up really as a group. And some of the best memories that we ever shared together, I think, before we all went off to university. So it kind of included some of the craziest taxi rides we've ever been on, where we had taxi drivers racing each other across other sides of the road. One of them were quite lucky to come out of that one. It involved some of the worst sunburn we've ever seen, courtesy of James. It involved one of our cars breaking down as well, and spending an afternoon in a pub talking to a parrot as well, which was random. And Andrew also got his temper broken as well, which I don't think he's ever forgiven Jamie for. And it was some of the best moments I think we've shared together, really. And when we are together as a group, we do spend a lot of time taking the piss out of each other, really. It's not very often that we will be serious with each other. I suppose now it's a better time than any to do that, really. And Andrew has been a great friend to the three of us. And we're all very proud to be his best man today. He does have all the qualities that we think will make him a great husband as well. He's caring, he's got a really good sense of humour, and most importantly, he does whatever Ashley tells him to do. I'll pass you on to James now to continue the speech.
Thank you. Out of the three of us, I've probably known Andrew the least amount of time. I first really got to know Andrew when we sat next to one another in our GCSEs. I purposefully say sat, as in all honesty, can't say much work was done. All we did was talk to one another and annoy those that sat around us. Some did most of the talking. But despite that, here I am giving a best man speech on Andrew's wedding day, so obviously it wasn't too bad. Right, it normally falls to the best man to recall some embarrassing anecdotes about the groom, but as Robbie has just given him quite an embarrassing recollection of past 10-15 years, I think it'd be a bit unfair of me to continue, but you did ask three of us, so you should have expected 3 times as many. I'm not sure how many of you know how Andrew first asked Ashley out on a date.
No.
Looking at the upstanding gentleman to my left, you would imagine that he would have spent hours, if not days, agonising over the best way of asking her out. Maybe casually dropping it into a conversation when they're together quietly. Not that romantic. No. Romeo over there sent her a text. Could have been worse. Could have been Facebook, but still. I think to his surprise though, she did agree. And obviously here we are now. The first date, I think also didn't go as he had hoped. When he arrived, he found Ashley stood there with an entourage in the form of Hannah and Helen. Probably there to make sure that he didn't get up to any funny business. But clearly his intentions were pure. And here we are now, like I just said, celebrating their marriage. In all seriousness, Andrew is one of the most caring and compassionate people that I know, as evidenced by his quite tear-jerking speech just now. He's been a great friend to all of us, and I'm certain that he will make a great husband to Ashley. Similar to how Robbie and Jamie have known Andrew since a young age, I've known Ashley for about 20 years now. And in that time, it's obvious to me just how excellent a match Ashley is to Andrew. She is beautiful, loving, caring, funny, and smart. She's brought joy and happiness to my friend's life. And I'm so happy that they found each other. Knowing Andrew and Ashley for as long as I have, and standing here now, it's easy to see just how perfect a couple these two make, and it's been my honour to have been part of your day. Now before I start crying, I'm going to hand you over to Jamie.
So, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Jamie. For those of you who do know me, you're probably wondering how I'm going to mess this up. I've been very good today. I've not stood in any puddles, got myself close to dressed by myself. It's going well so far. So, it's fallen on me to talk about these guys as a couple. So, how does a nerdy, Lord of the Rings loving guy like Andrew end up with a wonderful woman like Ashley?
We all love them.
That was actually my next thought. think part of it is him being very careful of how he introduced her to that side of his life. It was a fair few months until he invited her around to his house and he went in the bedroom to see what it all looked like. And there he is, all the statues and spaceships around the room. And he's told me since she had a look of pure fear in her eyes when she realised what she got herself into. So, not long after, if I can actually give away on the speech. However, not long after that, Andy went off to university and eventually actually followed him. And that started a sort of chain of some of them being in one country, some being in another city. It just on and on like that. Now, for most couples, that would probably be a deal breaker. But these two somehow made it work. And they're always planning ways they could meet up. It could be a Michelin star date at some random restaurant. It could be planning how we're going to spend half term together. Or even just spending time on Skype, just trying to watch the latest episode of TV shows. I remember once trying to talk to Andrew about Game of Thrones. And I was told, no Jamie, you can't talk to me about this. I'm waiting for Ashley to get back from the library so I can watch it with her. But in the end, they finally came together and decided to move in. Now, I know Andy's nerdiness still sort of carries on up there. He's got an R2-D2 statue in the living room, all the spare rooms full of board games. Honestly, it's a nightmare. But I think Ashley's sort of come to accept that. She's realised she's sort of training as he goes. So he's sort of learned how to cook. Apparently, he can even use a washing machine. I don't believe that for a second. But I suppose in the end, though, we sort of all expected them to get married, and obviously means proposing. Now, a couple of years ago, before Andrew actually did it, we all went to Paris. I wanted to watch Euros at the time, and everyone tagged along. And whilst we're there, Andy told us he's going to whisk Ashley off on this big romantic date. And of course, being in Paris, we all assume, oh, he's going to propose to her. So they go off and we stay there talking about, oh, how's he going to do it? Is she going to say yes? All this stuff. And we end up sat in the apartment waiting for them to come back. And start walking upstairs and you see 8 pairs of eyes just watching Ashley's hand to see what was there. Nothing. You could sort of feel the tension in the room just go right there. But eventually, he did end up proposing to her, and here we are today. Some of us on this top table a lot poorer because of that, as we're going to get used to in the middle as well. But, so I do have some words for this thing out. So what will the future bring for you two? Well, nobody can really tell. I'm sure it'll be full of love and happiness, plenty of fancy meals together, and dates to foreign countries to just get sunburned together. But I do have a little warning for you guys. Now, Luke and Megan took a whole year between getting married and getting pregnant. Robbie and Kate halved that down to 6 months. 3 months' time, guys. I don't want to be having a different conversation with you. But it's obvious, though, when you spend time around both of them, they have such a fun and loving relationship, and I know you will both continue to be so happy together. Now, it gives me great pleasure to ask you all to raise your glasses to toast the bride and groom.
I knew you were gonna cry. Oh. gosh, that's very good.
There'll be no crying for you. The sun will be shining, 'cause I feel that when I'm with you, there'll be no crying for you. The sun will be shining, 'cause I feel that when I'm with you, it's alright. I know it's right in the songbird.
It's late in the evening. She's wondering what clothes to wear. She'll put on her makeup and brushes her long blonde hair. And then she'll ask me, do I look all right? And I'll say yes.